Hi everyone, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generation StudioSeries 8630 Springer. We have a quote-unquote leader class Springer, which is the Voyager Siege Springer mold. That's about 6 years old now, and it's been remolded very heavily, to be fair, but has, to me, some issues that I'll immediately point out. First, we've got what I think is a pretty cool looking futuristic car mode. It can roll just fine. It's one of those things, he had a lot of issues when I first reviewed the Siege mold. Things that don't 100% lock into place, friction joints that are a little too tight, some tabs that need to be trimmed up. I've done some work on him already, but visually he looks good. I like the green and yellow. I actually don't like this sword up here. I put these back here because I always thought it was really weird how narrow the back end is compared to the front end, although these guns would just be kind of shooting himself, which is kind of funny. It's got like a nice little blue cockpit, a good Autobot symbol. I do wish, like, we have some lovely green painted rims here. I wish those also helped go on the back end. I know that would be less accurate, but it might help things look a little more cohesive. If we take these guns off, which you can see over here, I'll be talking about, he's got a mess of accessories. This is how, essentially, this and the remolding is how they're trying to justify the leader price point. I don't know that they get there. But, you know, if I'm viewing this just as a toy, it looks good. Although we immediately, when we come to the back, we're going to see, if we come in here, these pin joints are already stressed. And this is a recurring thing throughout Springer's mold. All the transformation that I'm going to show, all the stuff that goes on, it does seem to be damaging the toy. So this toy feels like it's got a short shelf life, which is unfortunate. But as far as car mode goes, that's about it. It transforms. You can stick different accessories on top of stuff. He's got his like massive cannon piece, which can go right here, or bomb. There we go, jetpack thing. You can stick, he's got a wrecker hammer, which can also store up here. There we go. You've got his guns and everything, so he's got different storage for all his different accessories, although you can't put everything up there at the same time. So he is a triple changer, so he goes from this futuristic armored car to a helicopter, and we're just going to start by opening up these side pieces. These tabs on the sides come out. We can open up here, and this is the first part that I had to fix. This tab on his left side, I actually had to trim that. You can probably see it if I don't knock my camera. I kind of hacked away at that tab to make it fit because it just wasn't fitting. But we're going to take this piece, flip this over, close this back up, and you can see like the fist just kind of hangs out there. I feel like, especially if we're paying, you know, this was originally a $35 toy. Now it's a $55 toy, and it's part of StudioSeries. Why did the remolding not include some sort of flip away or cover for the fist? It feels like that was an obvious place where value could be added that was missed. We can flip over this piece. There we go. And I don't really, if you notice, I'm not comparing him to anything. I don't have the Siege Springer mold anymore or anything. I gave that away a long time ago. So I'm not really going to do a comparison. I'll try and do a comparison by memory as best as I can. We can take these intakes and push them down, lift this whole section up. We can open up the back of his car. And here's another section. This is an area that people have been talking about a lot. And you're going to see as I try and get this open without breaking these tabs. If we come in and look at this tab, if it'll focus, there's that white line of stress, and here it's a little more obvious on that side. Those tabs are not long for this world, which is, again, really unfortunate for a $55 toy. With these tabs open up, we can swing out both of these sections of his car mode. Then we can flip around both sections and flip them up like so. Can open up these sections to get the back of his helicopter. And then we want to take our hips and pull both of these down. And this part of the transformation, like, I like how clever this reshaping is happening. It's really just when you get to these final points, things needed to lock in better to feel more satisfying. Get these arms out of the way. There we go. Can come in and we got to kind of get these hips down and out of the way. And then we can close things back up here like so. And on these half leg sections, we're going to flip these feet around the other way. Same thing on this side to close things back up. And you want to get the toes underneath this hinge platform on both sides. And these tabs that, again, are not long for the world, can hook into grooves on his thighs to hold things in place. That is good. I like that a lot. It's just the rest of this feels hollow and kind of just, you're just squeezing stuff together and doesn't feel great. And then this piece has two tabs that never, I mean, it clicks in, but it just is gappy and doesn't feel good. Then we can take on our armatures for the arms. We're going to bring them down and close them up on either side like so. And I think this got flipped around. There we go. Then with our helicopter like that, we can take our sword, open it up, compress those pieces, and we have our helicopter rotor. And for me, this does not look as good as the car mode. I think there's a couple things that really, this one's done tab. There's a couple things that really knock this down. I don't mind the tires in the back, but I think, again, if this section is coming out and we are at the leader price point now, there should have been some sort of lock for this tire as well as a cover. This piece doesn't hold in, like this is just hanging loose, and you saw it flipped earlier. The blades spin, but they also don't spin the right way. Like if it's spinning in a circle, then this blade is spinning backwards. That actually really bothers me. That might just be a me thing, being in the aviation industry, but it feels weird that is the case. It does, I mean, it spins okay. Again, he has, you know, all these accessories. In this position, you can't really store stuff up top. You could store a couple things, you know, on the sides. We can give him his guns up here and here. So I think it does what a helicopter needs to do. You know, it has a spinning rotor, but things like this gappiness here, stuff that I was forgiving on a Voyager figure, I am not forgiving here. And the quality control stuff shouldn't happen at either price point. And we have one more mode, but before we go to it, let's go announce the winner of last week's Soundwave giveaway. All right, time to draw and announce the winner for Transformers Generations Legacy United Soundwave, along with, and I recognize I messed this up the entire video. I don't know. It was right before we were catching a plane to travel, so it was early in the morning, and I think I was just tired. But it's Soundwave, Ravage, and Rumble, or Frenzy, whichever one. Already messing it up again. Not including Buzzsaw, who I kept calling Sundor. Buzzsaw is the one I'm keeping. Everything else is free to a new home. And we had over here in the comments a lot of good discussion, a lot of, you know, different opinions about where the value was. I think I can see it both ways. I see where people are mentioning, yeah, like this is a much cheaper way to get Netflix Soundwave than it is on the secondary market, so it makes it worth it for you. For me, I still land on the fact that if I'm comparing this to another retail leader, like Galvatron, who I just reviewed, not so worth it. But here we go, or similar to Springer, right? Springer to Galvatron to me just doesn't seem worth it. But let's pick our winner. We had 28 entries, and over here were all the comments left on the video. I appreciate everyone who left a comment. And again, if you're watching this right now, you have a chance to enter another giveaway. Go check out our Extra Life live stream and our Extra Life page. But we're gonna pick rand between 1 and 28 as my laptop goes off. All right, our winner is number 26, 26 is CT22214. Quite the username. Connecticut 222214. I don't know. But congratulations. And you had a really good idea. Like a simple one would be just repaint the cassettes, all of them. Like fuck, I was gonna do it again. Buzzsaw is a repaint of Laserbeak. Let's have Enemy, and instead of Ravage, we can have Howlback. Like Enemy and Howlback would have been, you know, some value added there. But congratulations, CT22214. Get with me on the various social media. You know, we're on Blue Sky now. We're on Twitter. We're on Threads. We're on everywhere. Reach out to us, and we will get Soundwave bundled up and sent out to you with his 2 cassette buddies as soon as possible. Congratulations again to the winner. So to get to robot mode, we're going to take this piece off, turn it back into a sword, set it down. On Springer, we can take off his guns. And we're going to take these back pieces and we're going to flip these up. And these also, just with the quality of the rest of the toy, it does worry me how tight these are. I haven't seen any sign of stress marks, but I do worry about that eventually being the case. We're going to take these out. We can open up these arms on either side. Then we can open up the arm fully. Just take this whole armature piece off. We can flip this around, close it up around his forearm. We can take this section and fold it up like so. Take this section, do the same thing, open things up. And if one side seems tighter than the other, it's because, again, I had to fix one side, so my home fix is probably looser than it should actually be, but the tolerances were just too tight in the first place. We can open up his back end like so, getting these leg sections out of the way, flip the thighs around, flip in this piece and close up that leg, bringing that foot around where it needs to be. Same thing on this side. Flip and flip. We can bring up these armatures. We can bring up our hips like so. Then up top, we want to open up this section, which flips out into his head, which we want to rotate around. We can flip back these side pieces and flip down this section here. Oop. Get his, there we go. Get that whole section up, which lets us flip down this section. And it has 2 slots here, which we can tab in up front. If we bring this all the way forward, there we go. And that does click together pretty securely. I am worried a little bit about the transparent plastic, but you know, maybe that's okay. We can bring up our arms, bring up our backpack, and flip out this. So this is definitely new remolding that lets us flip out his shoulder pads. And here we have Springer in his robot mode. And in robot mode is where we see the most remolding. This is where I get why this is StudioSeries instead of Siege. So his legs are essentially the same. I don't think there's anything changed from the hips down. But we've got new arms. We've got these shoulder sections that do curve out now. We've got a new chest. We actually do have a new head sculpt. The back is new. This section didn't change like that. So there's a lot that is changed here. That being said, I don't know that this feels like a leader class StudioSeries figure. This feels like a Voyager class StudioSeries figure. While a lot has been remolded, it doesn't really feel like there has been much improved. He still has the same kind of loose ankles that he had before, which is really, really unfortunate. The articulation is fine. I do wish that he had a neck joint so that he could tilt his head. That's really unfortunate. He's got, 360-ish on his arms, almost 360 on the arms. They can go out that far before the shoulder joint gets in the way. They can curl up They have wrist swivel, they've got bicep swivel. We've seen his hips already. He has nice deep knee bends, but the Siege figure had all this stuff, and that was at the Voyager price point. So it is the sort of thing where I'm looking at this and a lot was changed, but was $20 worth of value added? And I think absolutely not, especially with the quality control issues, right? The tab here, I basically couldn't transform this shoulder pad until I fixed that tab. His ankles give away. He's got these tabs back here that are stressing really badly. He's got the pin joints that are stressing really badly. He comes with a bunch of accessories. I mean, we've seen the gun. He's got this sword, which is neat. He's got the hammer. He's got different stuff. But that's all fixed plastic. None of that transforms. None of that feels like value added, especially not $20. That's not $20 worth of accessories. So it gets me to the point where I'm looking at the figure and it looks fine. It doesn't transform great. And it's $55. This is absolutely not a recommendation. I got mine because I was morbidly curious about him. But I do not recommend anyone else get StudioSeries 86 Springer. Unless you just I mean, even if you don't have a Springer, like the Siege version or the Legacy version are both good. And you can get them online now for 35 bucks. So you're saving $20 versus this toy. I don't recommend this really to anyone. And I don't think it looks super movie accurate. The movie design was more curved, a little more organic in appearance. This doesn't meet that because it's limited by the Siege mold. So for $55, this feels like a big miss by StudioSeries 86. That being said, I'm not going to keep this guy, so this is a giveaway. If you're watching this when it's live, we are about 3 hours into our 24-hour live stream. So the giveaway is simple. If you want Siege Springer, all you got to do is go down in the comments, say you'd like to enter the giveaway, and then go check out our 24-hour live stream. Go say hi in the chat if it's live. If it's not live, if it's after the live stream has ended, leave a comment. That's all you got to do. And then next week, we'll be drawing and announcing the winner of Siege Springer, just like I did Soundwave. You reach out to us on our social media, and we'll get them shipped out to you as soon as possible. That's it. Hopefully this was a fast look at StudioSeries 86 Springer. I don't recommend him. He's fine, but not great. I'd call him bad at his price point. And I'll catch you all later. Bye.